Good day. I am Matthias of Regenerations Creations, and today I wanted to go over another of my core beliefs, that the world is a harmony of dualities. First off, this video and the next one are going to go a bit more into metaphysics and the nature of reality. These are the points that I am the least convinced of. I do not claim to have any real knowledge of our metaphysical reality, and I'm still an agnostic, and I think that I am too limited to understand the full scope of our existence. But this video and the next are basically a combination of what I think is close to the truth and what I think believing in will make me a better person in the here and now. So when I was at university, I minored in philosophy, but about half the philosophy courses I took were actually in religious studies. This gave me a surface level understanding of many of the major religions of the world. But I won't lie, I graduated nearly 10 years ago, and I've forgotten much more than I remember. What I do remember is that out of all that I studied, what jumped out to me the most was Taoism and Stoicism. The main thing I learned from Taoism is really, what everyone knows about them, the yin-yang symbol. So I want to apologize to any Taoists out there. I don't mean to misrepresent your beliefs, and I hope to get it at least a little bit right. But basically, I think of the yin and yang as order and chaos. Both are total opposites, but each has a bit of the other at its core. And both spiral and harmonize together in a circle, representing the totality of existence, so that all things contain both order and chaos, and they need to be kept in balance to maintain harmony. This speaks to the Paladin video that I put out recently, where I said that to be a good person, you must first have the capacity for evil, and then actively choose to do good instead. There are no inherently good or evil people, I think. There are good and inherent actions and thoughts, though. And a person's soul becomes colored by your thoughts and actions. We cannot cleanse ourselves of our nature. We have to embrace our shadow to become fully actualized. Like me, I have anger issues, and that's never went away. I just got better at controlling it, right? So there's never going to be a point in my life where I never have to worry about anger again, right? It's not going to be cleansed from me. But there is a possible future where I'm able to feel the anger, understand the true reason behind that anger, and then understand how best to utilize the energy of that to make myself better. So again, it's about harmonizing your negative with your positive, not trying to eradicate all the things that you currently see as negative. On top of Taoism and Stoicism, I've been getting into some of the teachings on Thoth and the Emerald Tablets, alchemy, Rosicrucianism, that kind of stuff. Not that I have delved very deep into these topics, but I do like some of their talk about all things being vibrations and mental energy. Again, I don't claim that these are the truths, but I currently like this way of thinking. It kind of ties in with Descartes and some of the French idealists' notion that we basically live inside God's dream. As I have said in previous videos, I think that we are all part of the divine, consciousness being that spark of the divinity within each of us. So all is one. Reality is a shared conscious experience of God. We and everything are one and the same. This is also why our thoughts and actions lead to real changes in reality, because our divine consciousness allows us to weave the fabric of reality to an extent, since all reality is just God's conscious experience. All this high-minded metaphysics is well and good, but what does it mean for the here and the now? Why do I choose to believe this, and how does it make me a better person? Well, I think that it's true that we are one with all things, and that I am also the same as every other human, meaning loving others is exactly the same as loving myself. I once heard it said that we should think of every other human being as just you living another life. If you had their genes and their experiences, you would be just like them, and vice versa. So I need to accept others for who they are, just me taking a different course through life. I need to see them as fundamentally unique expressions, yet also just a mere image of myself. With this, I've come to believe that the things we often hate in others is really just the things that we hate about ourselves. This is why the pastor who is most vocally anti-gay is usually secretly gay himself, or why once I give up alcohol, I now find myself judging others for drinking. Right? For a long time, I found it very hard to get along with my mom. I thought she was rude, short-tempered, cold, distant, stubborn, always had to be right. Then I looked at myself I noticed these were all my flaws as well. Right? I couldn't deal with her short temper because I'm short tempered. I couldn't stand her stubbornness because I'm stubborn. In short, every time we judge someone else, we are in fact only judging ourselves. This goes back to the sayings, be strict with yourself and forgiving of others, and let he without sin cast the first stone. So how can I sit here and judge others when as soon as I think about it, I have similar shortcomings and I am weak in areas where they are strong? I think this way of thinking about the universe being a harmony of dual energies also helps us see that contradictions we see only appear that way because they require a synthesis of competing energies. Like why would a good God let there be evil in the world? Well, because for order to exist, chaos must exist. You can only have good when there's evil to overcome. You can only gain valuable new experience by doing something that challenges you in some unique new way. Why do bad things always happen to good people? Because overcoming them makes them better and inspires hope and courage in all who witness them overcome. Or maybe simply because a certain amount of order attracts a certain amount of chaos. It reminds me of an old Christian saying, when the devil is leaving you alone, you know you're on the wrong path. It's only once you're on God's path that you start seeing the devil tempting you down different paths. As a way of visualizing this, I came up with a symbol. It consists of an Ouroboros, a sun, and a moon. The sun and the moon represent the dual aspects of nature, order and chaos, light and dark, gold and silver, masculine and feminine. The Ouroboros is a snake eating its own tail. As I have come to see it, it's a bit like Schrodinger's cat, where it both is and isn't something at the same time. It's a still image of a serpent with a tail in its mouth, but it's eating the tail, so it should be getting smaller, right? Or is the tail generating out of the mouth, so it should be getting larger? Well, it's both at the same time. The spot where the tail meets the mouth is the moment of simultaneous creation and destruction. And as you travel along the body of the snake, you are traveling along the cycle of death and rebirth. The snake itself was a very ancient symbol for death and rebirth. Obviously, they're associated with death for their suffocating constriction or their venomous bites, but also snakes shed their skin. And as they do, they seem to emerge from their own corpse, an obvious symbol of rebirth. So in my representation, it's two Ouroboros woven together in the middle, forming a vertical infinity symbol, or an 8, between them, with a circle on each side. Then in each of these side circles is the sun and the moon. This shows that there are two distinct energies with infinity between them, but they are really just two sides of the same coin. To represent that, I have a quick image to show. Let's see if I can get it up. Bam, bam. See, there we have the two Ouroboroses woven together. So the infinity sign, vertically aligned, the sun and the moon, the dual energies. So it's been a lot for today. Thank you guys all for listening, and have a great day.